A History of Creation, Part 1. October 8, 2013. Dear friends, last week, I started to receive what the constant companions refer to as double helpings, extra messages in addition to the manuscript. These messages differ from the usual ones, and the first one that I was guided to post was the update to the 6th gathering. I was told that the rest of this information was to be posted after the gathering, and here is the first installment of it. The constant companions have given them a title. They call it A History of Creation. I do not know how many parts there will be, nor how long the manuscript will continue. All I know is that I will be given double helpings for a while. So without further ado, as the constant companions like to say, here is part 1. So let us begin this narrative by focusing on a field that we know you hold close to your heart, namely the origin of the atom, or rather, the origin of mass. For mass is nothing but energy, and that is a concept that has been misunderstood in so many ways through the history of mankind. These small particles of energy in motion did not find their way into human consciousness for a very long time because they cannot be seen, cannot be perceived, and as such, it took you all a very long time before you even noticed them all about you. But now, as you are becoming well versed in the properties of these energetic building stones of life, we are going to take you all even further. For you have searched and searched for that elusive little particle you call the Higgs boson, and even if you seem to have found traces of it, there is still so much that you fail to comprehend. That is understandable, for much of what is the real driving force behind all of this is invisible, not only to the human eye, but also to all of the technical equipment you have developed so far. But what if we say that you will be able to see it with your naked eye, and the reason for this is indeed the faculties that have been implanted into your brain during these last intense upgradings. As we have often stated, mankind lives within a very narrow box, where the so-called laws of nature are determined as constant and unchangeable. Well, let us just say welcome to the brand new world, where nothing can be deemed as unchangeable ever again. For matter is energy and energy is always malleable, and when you start to access the levels that all of us are frequenting, you will see just how malleable it all is. Nothing is constant and nothing lasts forever, or rather, everything constantly is, but in a changeable state that is flicking on and off at a speed far, far surpassing the so-called speed of light. Let us just add that the speed of light is nothing like you have clocked it in at. Or rather, according to your measuring capabilities, it is just that, but that is because you cannot see how the light particles really move. At times, they seem to stand still, but then suddenly, they make what can only be defined as a quantum leap. So you are in between these states of now and forever, and between them, everything is passing back and forth, like small energetic packages of information, constantly talking to each other, constantly changing and morphing and evolving. It is like a blip on the screen, and then it is gone, only to reappear at a completely different set of coordinates in space. So perhaps this will start to give you a small insight on how we are able to be in your vicinity while not here at all. And why we can see you clearly, but you cannot see us. As we have said on more than one occasion, all of space is so crowded, that if everything was visible at the same time, you would not find a way to move. Or rather, you would feel as if every single molecule of space is filled with something, and therefore, what comprises you, also comprises so much else, and it would be hard to find a way to navigate through this soup of energy. For this is indeed the case, as what you see, is only a wafer-thin layer of all that is. For all that is all occupying the same space, but you are all confirmed to a single layer of an uncounted number of layers all occupying the same space. So what you may refer to as endless space, as in a huge distance if measured in meters or even light years, is actually much, much smaller, at least when you measure in your forms of length and width. But if you measure it our way, it is actually an immensely compact sphere of reality all packed together within very, very little space. But spread out within this sphere is an infinite number of layers. We know this will be hard to wrap your heads around, But if you think that when you look out into the night sky, you see everything as if it is far, far away. But what if we tell you that all you need to do to connect with all of this, is to literally reach out your hand and touch it? For it is not far away, it is here, but it is superimposed on a layer so that it will seem an infinite distance from you. You are space as well, but you are already in space, and space is a measurable quantity. For space is energy, not distance, and as such, it can be made to look distanced from you, but it is not that. For space equals energy equals a morphogenic field. In other words, space is nothing but a defined quantity of energy occupying the smallest available space. For energy does not need space to be, it just is, no matter how large or how small it appears to the human eyes and indeed brain. So next time your scientists talks about the immensity of space, think rather about the infinite possibilities of space, and know that you can access every single part of it from the very comfort of your home. Everything is indeed energy, but the illusion that it creates, is that there is such a thing as mass. For when you have mass, you need space in which to contain it. But energy does not need any space at all, it just is. Hence the origin of the Big Bang. It started out from a pinprick, a mere speck, all in one dimension, or rather non-dimension, and then it started to unveil from there. But it is all just an illusion, a semblance of something tangible with width, depth, height and so on, and then every single object is put into context with all of these other imaginary objects, creating creation. After all, it lies in the name, does it not? For it is all created from energy, but it is all an illusion, something that can be changed and morphed and moved about at will. And who creates all of this? Who is God? God is creation, it is the will of this whole energy, the sole purpose, or rather, the sole purpose. It is there to be, it is an energy that is to be in every way imaginable, and then some. It is creating at all times, for that is what it is. It is creating in all dimensions and in all states, it is malleable and living, it is you, and you are it, and together, it is everything. It is the one single source, the God essence, the living entity, the all, the breath, the sound, the touch, the fear, the anger, the joy, the love, the hatred, it is all that, and more. It is here to simply be, and it wants to be everything. And so, it lives and it creates, for creation is what it is all about. And who are you? You are it too, in one defined form, but now, that form is being shifted and shaped into a brand new you. Yes, we know this word is offensive, but this is all a game, whether you live on planet Earth or anywhere else, for we are all players in the same game, we are all equal, and we are here to be just that little defined part of it all. It is like tasting different tastes, or looking at different colors, trying out different clothes or sexes, or sizes, or what have you. It is just about creating as many varieties as possible, all connected within this infinitesimally small bubble labeled all of creation. It is not huge, but it is endless. It does not take up any more space than a single particle of a single atom, yet, it covers everything, because it encompasses everything that you can imagine, and then some. But it is all an illusion, indeed a sort of hologram, but a living, breathing hologram, all put together for the enjoyment of itself. And you are a part of this, for this is you just as much as it is me or anyone else. I am you, and you are me, and we are you, and you are us, and together, we are it, the essence, the living, breathing organism that is just one single point of light, creating itself again and again into everything. So lest you should think your mind is going off the rails, it is not, you are simply being connected to the one again, and so you will know beyond the shadow of a doubt just who you are. You are everything, yet you are one single person. You are here, and you are, yet still, you are not. This is all a game, this is all about setting into motion things and beings that will create themselves, by making them come about and then setting them all up to interact in a way that enlarges the possibilities 100-fold. For this is all a quantum field of possibilities, and creation must strive to try them all, and so, all of this is also a huge part of this game. For you are in the middle of a game change, you are being put through a very different sort of experience, whereas you are being transformed from one sort of player to a very different one, all amidst the old setup. And not all of the players are going through the same changes, as this will also heighten the number of variables once again. It may sound callous, but as you already know, it is nothing short of magical. And what will the outcome of all of this be? Well, let us just say heaven knows. Or rather, the odds are high indeed that this planet will make an abrupt about turn to a sphere of vibration it has not yet been. In other words, the taste or the flavor is already changing, and it is changing into something that will be infinitely more palatable to the majority of beings gathered here. For even if this is indeed an illusion, it is one where every single player is a conscious part of it, and even if not one of them have the full picture, still, they are very much an intrinsic part of this. We think you will find that in the time ahead, you will see glimpses of the behind-the-scenes work in a very different way than before, because now you know, and what you will start to see through is very, very thin layer of reality, and you will start to see the other ones behind them. But again, they are no more real than this one, but still they are all a part of this plan. And now, the plan is to converge these hitherto separate planes and create something very new. It is about creating, it is about energy wanting to be everything, and that is what it is doing. It is being you, it is being a tree, it is being water, ice, fire and everything in between. It is being a smell, it is being a sound, it is being both at the same time for that matter. So rest your minds now, and let yourself be as free as you can, and enjoy the ride. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com